Yes, my voice is clear. Reply me. Okay, fine. What we will do, we will consider here, I have taken some parameters over here with the class name, same class name, and with that I have got some contents over here. So if I want to get the class with the name, so what I will do, I will take some other example. Yesterday we had gone with this, the methods we had called, methods we have done. So simply with the same, what we can say, what happened? Okay, fine. It is in some of the time in order to get reload access. Okay, here in the main method, what I will do, I will create an object of this above. Just wait a minute. Hello? Okay, fine. What I have done, I have taken the contents, I have taken the classes with the same name and methods we had called. But here I have not created any of the, what we can say, any object of this. So simply I will create here object. So first of all, what will I go for? We'll take, what we can say, here I have taken program. So I will create here program. Let it be named as a PG equals to new PG. And here I will pass something. So it will be color. So name. If it is showing some error. So what I have done, I have taken the content. Okay, fine. We will consider another example with the new content for the constructor, and in that I will create an object. So let it be, it will be fine. Now the next object we are going to create with the keyword of new. So new keyword will reflect as if I'm creating some instance, or you can say an object of that particular entity or that particular. So here in this example I have taken the class and object and class and parameters, or you can say a thing or an object name, and for that purpose I have created an object of that particular entity. Yeah, so simply this is over with it. Now the next point is the constructor overloading. So how we are going to do the constructor overloading? So what is the actual method? What we have means in here in the PPT I have declared what is constructor overloading. It is quite simply to the method overloading. What is method overloading? So when I'm saying that the constructor is placing something, or some parameters are defined with it. So that constructor overloading will give you some methods. What these methods will be? So these methods are nothing but it is similar to C++ and C hash. Okay, you can consider here the same content, whatever we had done with the same parameters or different parameters, the same name, because C hash distinguishes this constructor with different signatures. So constructor may have the same name but the different parameter list. So here I have given some conditions like add is method I called, but the parameters are different and same. With the same name, I have again called the method we have, but the parameters in that are different. Whatever I am calling the method, they are different. Okay, so simply with the different arguments, by using different number of arguments, by using different types of arguments, and by using different orders of arguments, we can call the constructor overloading. So simply when we are having these types of constructor overloading, so I can consider it as with the three types. That is, first is the different type, that is types of argument, then number of arguments and order of arguments. So here with this all three types we will go for it. We will go for a program. Okay, so we will see here. I will create a new project, making name as, okay, first of all we have to select. It is taking some of more time. Okay, fine. I will make the project name as a constructor. Okay, fine. I will create it. With the different project name, I am creating some and it is replacing it. Okay. So now here, what we will do, we will create some that constructor overloading I have already created. So what I will go for, I will make some program which will include some content like int x comma y, yes, then double string. Check the parameters. Now I need to call my first constructor. So say here first constructor. How I will go? Rightly public add here int a comma int b, make okay, let's see. Later it will get to a equals to say f equals to b. Okay. Now what I will do, I will go with some basic again. So what I will go with, I will create some methods over here in main method, so that AD equals to create an object over here, so that error will be vanished. So I am giving that inputs. We'll go with whether it is showing me No, it is not showing me. Let it be. We will consider here. Later again we will move on. Just second. Constructor I am calling. So that will be public again. And method. Now the parameters are different in A, comma, string B. What it will do, y equals to A and S equals to B. So what I will do, for show I have not created anything. Public void show that I will write console dot write line. What I will pass, I will just say the first constructor, that is int A, comma, int B, constructor int values are plus and minus, isn't it? So we'll give it as a addition. We need addition of float. It is case sensitive, so it will show you some of errors. So don't panic. No matter. We'll give you actual values also. That is x plus f. Okay. Okay. We will take the values like, so in first constructor, now void show again, whatever. Next, it has not called anything, so I will just copy paste it. Parameters will be different. Instead of that, float will consider here string. This is 0 plus 1. Okay, now we'll go with some okay, here we will check what is the matrix. This is also derived. Okay, fine. created here one class again. In that I need to pass my main method. What I will do, I will take this main method, that is static void main. Here I will go with this main method. Will do show this. Not taking, wait, we will consider why it is happening. Let's check once again where it is wrong. Program to barabar hai, text I have taken add. What is the error? It's not checking. Related to some go with the main program again. There is some error with this. I will relocate again with some new parameter. We'll take the program of that car itself. What is that? Constructor overloading the class. I will consider for the car. Take the car. Inside the car, I will take some conditions like the car method I will call. Without passing any parameter, somewhat different parameters will go with simple one. So this is one without no parameters. This, what we can say, this is now the next one I will take with as in the car itself. When I am saying that with the car, what I will do, I will take one parameter, that is string brand. Okay, what I will do, I will take string and make it as a brand. So what it will consider, it is having one parameter with it. Okay, so comment it as with one parameter. So only one parameter I have taken, console. That is not giving me answer. Okay, console dot write line in bracket. What I will pass? Put car constructor with one parameter. Just only that much. So it should give me what we can say, brand name. I have given that brand. Okay, so brand colon space plus brand. That should also be get parameter. Parameter has been called, so it should be get accessed. Now with these parameters, what I have done in main method, I have not called anything. So what I will do, I will call equals to new so bracket, nothing I will print. I will just, for one it is given, for other car 2 I have created new object of that same car. Passing nothing, I'm writing console dot write line thing in that. Fine. But here I need to pass the brand name. So we'll go with Benz. Yeah. So we'll take the Benz as my car. Lastly, what I will give, console dot read key, which will make my output visible. Which will make my output visible. So you can see here. Yeah, fine. So I have created a constructor overloading with different numbers of parameters. So with no parameter, with one parameter. Also you can make here also again with different parameter. Car int a, or some, what we can say, int a comma string name. Yeah, so it will be considered with something. So you have to pass some conditions over here with what you are going to give, because if I am initializing that, parameters need to know what these parameters. So this is with two different parameters. Third constructor car constructor with different parameter, different with one parameter with two different parameter, I can say. Do it again with condition. What will be the condition you have to give? So you have to mention that integer value also. That is nothing but the console app, console dot write line you are asking. Again, sorry, right in bracket you have to give what integer value also, and similarly you have to mention the string name. So what will be the integer value? If I am passing something like this, 25 is my variable, and string value name swear. Yeah, what is the error? Okay, fine. Exception. So like this I have given with the two different parameters. So similarly you can also give here. Again I need to call with the car object, need to create again car 3 because the new contents I have involved here over there, and similarly need to provide some conditions. Need to provide some conditions. So I am writing this console dot write line. And if you want to pass, you can pass that content, but if we already had given, so no any issue. So simply I will remove this. What I will do, I will write here. What is the name? That is okay. So like this, the constructor overloading with different parameters we had given over here. So we will see whether it is executing or not, or showing an exception. Yes, car constructor bends whatever given, because first line what executing, it is only executing the car constructor with the one parameter, then with no parameters, then car constructor with one parameter, then car constructor with 25, but it is not showing me query. Why? Because I have not passed anything over here with the name. Yes, with the name I have not called here, only the number it is taking me. I need to pass the values over here. So this will be the assignment for you. Now the next point, this is the constructor overloading. So what we had done, we had taken the same class name as the method name, and simply that method had called with different parameters, with different initial inputs, because here I have not given any parameter. Here I have given one parameter. Here I have given two parameters with different content, or you can say different arguments I have set for it. Okay, so this is your constructor overloading. Here also I have shown you with some different, means by types of arguments, it may be number of arguments, it may be or order of arguments. Okay, now the next point, methods, how these methods declaration will be there. So specifically when we are saying that method declaration, it means where to construct the method including its naming. So this is only the structure, you can say a body of method. Here public int max, if I am writing, this is a public is a modifier, access modifier, then return type, then here method name and your parameter list. So here also you can see method, what method I have called here. I have not mentioned any method, or you can say method calling. When I am method calling, so it should have some specifier, it should have some values, it should have some overloading methods also. So what is this? This is public is my method. How I'm going to call a method declaration in my constructor, in the way of a constructor if I am calling. So what it should consist? It should consist a modifier, it should consist a return type, it should consist a method name, and also a parameter list. Yeah, and then you can specify the body of that method with your commands or with your statements. So this is one of the condition, or you can say declaration part of your method declaration. Okay, fine. Now the next point, the method parameters. So without parameters and without return type also you can go with. Then program without parameters and with a return value, means if you are taking the void, and then it is showing that they having a return value. If not considering the void in your main method, or in your public method, or in your constructor method, then it is considering it as it is not returning any value. If you are considering a void, it is returning a value. So there are some types of method categorized. There are then program with parameters and without return value, program with parameters and with return value, without and with. Here the program without parameter but returning the value type. So these are some types of the method parameters we used to use simply in our programs. And when we say why we are using this method parameters, what is the use of this parameter? So there are some advantages. So that advantages are here I have given, means it makes the program well structured. Then method enhance the readability of the code. Simply, it provides an effective way of for the user to reuse the existing code, because there is no need to repeat or change the content regularly. So you can directly make some reuse that existing code with the same class name, or just like we had done with the constructor overloading. So similarly, you can go for it. And it optimizes the execution of time and memory space. Yes, without wasting the space, or you can say the code lines get reduces using this parameters when we are using. So all these advantages keeping in mind, we have to follow the rules. And that's why we are using the methods parameter over here in C hash. Now the next point, that is fields. What are the fields in C hash? What it exactly means? So exactly what is the field in C hash? It is a member of a class or an object of any type that represents a memory location for storing a value. So when I'm saying that fields are defined, so what is that field? Field is nothing but I am providing some memory location in, yes, in C hash. In C hash. Just wait a minute. It is stuck something moving. It's not moving. So what we can say, we have the fields in C hash, that is a member of a class or an object of any type that represents a memory location for storing a value. So it is directly applicable in order to declare the class or a struct in your C hash. The fields are nothing but the members for containing these values or types, you can say. So fields are used to store the data that must be accessible to multiply methods of a class and available throughout your lifetime of an object you have created. Now the fields is used for defining the variable in the class with accessibility as a private or a protected mode, and also it is known as a class level variable or a member variable. So this is a general feature where we are saying that this is class and this is field and this is method. Okay, so these types of fields we are using for our accessing that fields in your instance and adding something in your instance name, again following that name with the field, that name of that field. So this is, you can go with your field in C hash. So this is the overview of your, when I'm saying that public class name, any name, then public class addition. So what is that addition? And in that I am providing some public statements over there. That is the public add and your addition number. So when we are saying that fields, then fields are calculating your location, your memory location for storing that particular value in that proper location. Okay, so we are providing some fields over there. Now what is the properties here? The second chapter declares with you some contents, basic contents or introductory parts. Most of the introductory part in the second chapter we had gone through. So properties are nothing but these properties in the member C hash is a member of a class that provide a flexible mechanism for a class to expose private fields. Then internally, the C hash properties are special method called accessor. Yes, what is the access of that code? Means we are providing some curly braces, then round brackets. So why we are providing this in C hash? Because it's showing its whole व्हॅल्यूज प्रॉपर्टी मीन्स जसं की आपण करतो की आपली प्रॉपर्टी किती आहे म्हणतो, तर तुमच्याकडे एवढी एवढी जागा आहे, तर तुम्ही काय केलेली असते, ती जागा म्हणजे तुम्ही मोजून घेतलेली असते म्हणून तुम्ही सांगता की ती जागा एवढी आहे. तो सिमिलरली इथे पण जे स्पेसिफाय प्रॉपर्टीज म्हणतो आपण, तर वी प्रोव्हाइड विथ सम एक्सेसर. That is nothing but we get a property accessor and set property. Means set and get method are the two properties of your C hash. Means getting the values or getting it the content from the what we can say from the people or from the user, and setting that values into the system according to that get method. So these properties we used, that is a set and get method. The both two are the properties in C hash. First is the get and second is the set, or you can say set get method are the properties, and it will be considered for your programming. Why we are considering the in programming the set and get method? Because values inserting, we are having some accessor, so that that mechanism can be exposed to your private fields also. So in the example here I have shown you public integer age is given. I need to get that return this age. I need to get that return value. So from the user, if I want, I will take the get method and will set the, what we can say, set a criteria when he is going to retire. This is a program for retirement. So if this age condition is provided, if the age is greater than 65, then retired, it should be true, and age value, whatever you are going to insert, that should be get exposed. That should be get exposed, and then only I will say whether he is eligible for the retirement or not. Okay. Like that, we had gone through with the properties of your C hash, that is set and get method. Now the next point is here some access modifier and accessibility level I have given. So already it has been done with the C and C++. Still we are going to going for it. This all types and types of members are accessibility level. Then accessibility levels controls whether they can be used from other code in your assembly or other assemblies. As an assembly is a .dll or .exe created by compiling one or more .cs files in a single compilation. So we are using this accessibility level with this. So what are the access modifiers? The public, private, protected, you all knows. Here we have internal. Here we have an internal. What is internal? What is protected, internal, and private protected? So these are some of the access modifier. When I'm saying that private, public, it is accessible to all other codes also, and in the same assembly it is accessible to all. That is publicly it is valid. Now the private is something that it is accessed only by the code in the same class or a structure, in the same class or a structure. Protected is the type of member can be accessed only by the code in the same class, or in a class that is derived from that class, or in a class that is derived from that other class. What is internal? We have already seen here. Most of the time here it is writing as an internal class. So what it affects? What it affects? It affects nothing. It is saying, what it's saying, internal. What it will be say that internal will throw your, we can say, the types of access by any code in the same assembly, but not from the another assembly. In other words, the internal types or members can be accessed from the code that is a part of the same compilation. And protected internal, the type of, or you can say here, the protected internal types of or a member can be accessed by any code in the assembly in which it is declared, or from within the derived class in other assembly. And private protected means number can be accessed by the types derived from the other class that are declared within the containing assembly. So here I have given this chart, which will be very much clear to you with these statements. So don't get confused, only just remember where it is accessible and where it is not. Yes, so just go through it. Take a picture, because it is always we are going to consider. Yes. Is it okay? Is it okay? Fine. Fine. So it is also relatable when we are saying we know only public protected and private. So it is just similar to that. Only the 2-3 peoples are added over here more. sorry, that is internal, protected internal, private protected. So these three only parts had been added with it, and I have given you here in a tabular form how it is accessible, okay. Now you can see here the next point, that is the static method and the fields. So how I'm going to make that static method to be convertible with your fields, as field is also one of the property in your C hash. So we had taken the consideration that is in C hash, the static means something which cannot be initiated, and you cannot create an object of that static class and cannot access that static member using an object. So in here in the static method, when I'm saying that the static keyword I'm using, so it is called as a static method. If I'm not using the static method, it is non-static method. So applying the static modifier before the class name and the after the access modifier to make the class static. So here what I have done, public is the access modifier, static is the keyword, and this class is my name. Class name is my what is calculator. So how I have defined the static method, access modifier, keyword, and your class name. So like that I have written this, and simply we had issued with one example over here also with the static method. So when I'm saying that this class is accessible within the static parameter, so I am saying that the class with the same result I'm going to show. Yes. So here we had seen. So just a description over there I have given with this example. What it is, that above the calculator class is a static, and all the members of it are also static because static keyword, but you cannot create an object of that static class. Therefore, the members of the static class can be accessed directly using the class name. Using the class name, that is class name dot member name, or you can say here var result or varchar you can consider for it. Varchar. So what will be the rules with it? So when I'm saying that rules in order to consider, it is not that it not contain any of the instance or a member or a constructor. And also when the static class are sealed class, means are sealed class, and interference cannot be inherited. So just I have given here, that is it is accessed with the conditions. It is accessed with some condition. So basically static members in non-static class. What is this? It is again one of the feature in your C hash, that is we are accessing some static members that is in a non-static class. That is normal class or non-static class can contain one or more static methods, field, properties, events, and other non-static members. It is more practically to define a non-static class with some static members than to declare an entire class as a static. Instead of calling the static or the whole class, we can declare it without entering the static keyword. Yes. Now here in the non-static, it is that static field is a non-static, can be defined using the static keyword. Again, non-static class is shared across all the instance, and the changes done by the instance would reflect in others also in non-static class. So this is just general method, and here the rules already I have given the statement with it. You can define one or more static methods in a non-static class. Static methods can be called without creating an object. You cannot call static method using an object of a non-static class. Again, the static methods can only call other static methods and access static members, and you cannot access the non-static members of the class in the static method. So overall, this is the static method, and the rules are defined for it as the static methods can be defined using the static keyword before a return type and after an access modifier. Yes, public, static, and your class name. So like that you have to go, that these methods can be overloaded but cannot be override. That can be overloaded but not override. Not return value. Yes, static method can contain local static variable And the static methods cannot access or call any non-static variable unless they are explicitly passed as a method. For this, we will take one example, but in the next session. Okay, for this statement, we will consider one example in the next statement. Okay, fine. We will stop here. We will stop here. Just put in chat box your attendance. We'll stop here. Tomorrow we will see the garbage collection and all other contents. So in the chat box, you just put your attendance. Those are present. Okay, fine. (16 and 26). Okay. Where is 26? You can leave. You can leave the session.